Now, keep in mind that this entire video will be speculation. I don't know what the new game will be like, you don't know, the only one that knows is Konami itself. So unless you have an uncle that works at Konami, which probably is a lie anyway, I mean, that's the oldest lie in the book, nobody knows what this game is gonna do. Now, there have been some translations, there have been some speculations, it's likely an in-house made game, it's actually made by Konami. Now, how does this matter? The last PC game was terrible, Legacy of the Duelist. This was not a good game. If you liked it, that's fine, but if you just look at it objectively, compared to Konami made games in the past, Tag Force and even the DS games or Duel Links, you could see it as a much worse game. So, I'm curious to see what a full-fledged new Konami game will look like. Although it kinda got me thinking. Everyone knows Duel Links did really well. When it initially launched, many people thought it would only go for like a year, like, you know, YGO Duel Arena. Terrible Flash game that some people might remember. If you don't remember, good, keep it that way. Anyways, Duel Links, I didn't have high expectations, I don't think a lot of people did, but yeah, we're still going, 4th anniversary is approaching, and yeah, the game is doing well. I have criticisms made before, mostly towards the business model, but the game itself is fun, they designed it really well. The gameplay itself is fluent, and they are now making a new Master Duel game. Not sure if it will be for console, for PC, for mobile, they haven't said that much yet. Translations said it is somewhat like Duel Links, although this might just be wrong translations. But anyways, let's start thinking. What are the benefits of an online game like Duel Links? Well, the biggest one you can think of is that they don't have to print cards. Any sales they make, which, I mean, cards are not gonna be free, that's obvious if you think they're gonna be free. Nice joke. You know, they can be free without being too predatory. I mean, Duel Links especially isn't too predatory if you know what you're doing. There are ways to grind and there are ways to... You won't always have the best tier 1 deck, but you can always compete if you're smart and if you invest well. And I think that's something that will happen with the next game as well. Implying it's an online game like Duel Links. It has made a lot of money, and once again the biggest benefit is they don't have to print physical cards, ship them out, produce them, you know. Any sales they make is basically profit. With physical cards they have to produce the actual cards, the packaging, ship it out to stores, stores will take a cut. With a game like Duel Links they can basically take almost all of the cut, maybe, you know, Steam takes like 20%, 30%. But the idea is, they can take all the profits and there's no production costs. Now if they're smart about it, they've got a lot of Western YouTubers that could be interested. I mean, PewDiePie has shown some interest in similar games, like he also did some flashbacks to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Moist Critical has done a collab with Fafa and is doing pack openings non-stop. I'm pretty sure YouTubers like that, and of course also YouTubers and stuff, would be open to partnerships and exposure. If you advertise the game well, I'm pretty sure it can go into a second wave, like, especially if you cater well to the nostalgic crowd, like the Duel Monster crowd, which modern players will dislike. There's a big market there for players that aren't playing the physical game at the moment, because, well, let's be honest, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very niche. There are a few countries where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is big, and I can also see this in my analytics. The USA, of course, is very big. I think Brazil and some other parts of South America is pretty big. And a few European countries, namely Germany and Italy, the game there is pretty big. But if you look at something like where I come from, the Netherlands, you have to go to very niche shops to buy cards. They aren't sold in any mainstream stores like some countries. Tournaments are usually not that big. I can see a reality where this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Online game will replace the TCG, where the TCG will just stop existing and the online TCG is the new platform. Like, this might sound like a bad thing, but think about it. The game right now, is it something you enjoy? If the answer is yes, have you played before? The answer likely is no. Thing is, the game has gone to... made at the moment, it's honestly beyond fucked. That's something I think a lot of people should be able to agree on if they've played for a longer time. If you're a newer player, you never experienced a good format, so well, if you don't know what's good, then, you know, we can't compare. I really should have scripted this video. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, I can easily see it happen where the game moves to online only. We've noticed already during Corona, if something like Corona happens, there's no way to actually do duels. I mean, remote duels exist, but are you seriously gonna Skype duel in 2020? Well, sadly, as cringy as it is, a lot of people are Skype dueling in 2020. Big yikes from my side. But yeah, it goes to show once something like Corona happens, there's just no way to duel. And an online game would ensure that if you have friends from another country or something like that, or you just live far away from each other, you can always duel. So a lot of benefits. I don't have to print physical cards. What do you think about erratas? A lot of people dislike them, but if it just literally changes in the code because there's no physical card game, then well, that works. They can just print new cards especially made for it, which is, I think, is also one of the biggest issues with Duel Links at the moment. Where is Duel Links getting new cards from? They need to print the cards in physical form and then import them into Duel Links. So in order for these cards to exist, they first must print mediocre cards that don't impact the game, to then allow them to be imported. If they can skip that step and just, design cards for the actual game, the game itself would be more balanced, Duel Links and whatever physical game. And you won't have shit sets in the physical TCG. I mean, look at a lot of these decks. Something like Fortune Fairies, the recent, the Infinity support. That kind of stuff is obviously designed for Duel Links. It's not designed for the physical TCG. I mean, look at Infinity Suppression, and without laughing, tell me seriously it's made for the TCG meta game. I can't take that shit serious. So I can see a world where they will move to digital only. I mean, honestly, it looks like they have given up on the TCG anyway. Every 4 years or so we would get a new summoning method or something cool to spice the game up. What did we get now? With Master Rule 5? We got nothing. Sure, Master Rule 4 was undone, but we didn't get anything new exciting. We just got, can now just play the proper game again. Without the mistake that was link summoning. I think there are reasonable reasons to believe they are working on something big. It somehow got delayed or something, that's why they couldn't release it for the 20th anniversary. Corona came up, so they couldn't really reveal a lot now. But I think a big game is coming that will replace the main TCG, and I think the main TCG will die within a few years. Or at least only exist as a second game. The main game will be the digital platform. Duel Links has done insanely well, it's still growing. It's way more accessible for casual players. The physical TCG is impossible to play if you're new, almost near impossible. You need literal people in real life to guide you through it. It got way too complicated. The duels aren't as exciting as they used to be. People that think that's just pure nostalgia speaking. I've dueled in the past, I've revisited old formats. The game back then was just better than now. I mean, I've played both formats competitively and casually, and I know what's good and what's bad. I think the new game, whatever it will be, if it will be a Duel Links-like game with the Master Rule, the actual new Master Rule, the YGO Online 4 that I've been wanting for a long while, that a lot of people have been wanting, I think it could replace the physical TCG if Konami wants it to. If they do that, they will just be able to not print physical sets anymore, which would probably make a lot of more profits for them. And Konami's very money hungry. That's something you should know. I mean, ask Hideo Kojima how much they care for people. Yeah. Konami will do everything for money. A Master Rule 5, Master Duel, the actual TCG version of Duel Links, would do insanely well, I think. I think it would blow even Duel Links out of the water. I think it will blow the physical TCG out of the water. And sure, people will first cry, think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is ruined if we get an online-only version of the game. But let's be honest, the game has survived Master Rule 4 somehow, with links and stuff. We have survived Pendulums, we've survived Synchros, we've survived XCs. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will adapt anyway. If the game goes digital only, there will be a few people dropping out, but I think a majority will, convert. Plus, think about the possibilities that an online game could bring. Have you seen how big esports is becoming? Like seriously, just take a look at the opening ceremony of League of Legends World 2019 or 2018. 2020 wasn't that good. Just see the huge crowds, exciting show, exciting moments. It's gonna outgrow physical sports. Something like soccer will be outgrown by esports. If Konami is smart, and they're somewhat smart, they're greedy, but they're smart, they will jump to a digital only game and start promoting esports. Which I already kinda tried with Duel Links, but it's kind of mixed with real Yu-Gi-Oh! Which just doesn't work. Sevens already exists as a side game. That could be the only physical TCG game. I think a reality where the only game available at the moment is an online game, which they just announced, the Yu-Gi-Oh! New game. I think that's definitely that's a possibility. And if you look at how bad TCG has been doing, new sets fail to make impact, or they just make an impact in a toxic way. Or, you know, they're like, what do I call it? They're like, look at structure decks, for example. The last good one was like Salamangreat or maybe Pendulum. I don't know, when I look at new archetypes and support and stuff, they feel like they aren't designed for the modern game. I already felt like Konami had given up somehow, and when I see the announcement of this new digital game, I think a reality where we only have 2 games or 3 games, Rush Duels, which might have physical cards, Duel Links, and a Duel Links-like game for the TCG, which is now digital only. I can see that be a possibility. It would be way easier to balance. Maybe they'll do a soft reset, and that would be great as well, since the game has potential, but right now there's just too much power creep stacked on power creep. I've been a promoter of the idea of a reset anyway. Yeah, I can see a possibility where this new unannounced game will, you know, will be the new main focus of Konami. Now, I might be totally wrong. Maybe we'll just get a new Tag Force-like game. Maybe it'll just be a single-player game, like Legacy of the Duelist. Maybe it's just a YGO Online game to go with the physical TCG, like we had in the past. But I don't think Konami is stupid. I think they see what Duel Links is doing. You can look up the profits. It was like 150 million in like 2 years. Consider the fact that the only thing they really have to keep up with is servers. They don't have to physically print out sets. I mean, think about it. The booster box goes for like $60. The store takes a cut. Production costs a lot of money. I don't know how expensive it is to make foil cards, but at least it must cost something for them. You know, you can cut a lot of costs by turning the game digital only. Plus, it would be quote-unquote good for environment, which would also give them more points in that way, because, let's be honest, have you ever seen Premium Gold, for example? The old ones, at least, they don't do that as much nowadays. But you had like a pack stuck in plastic with another layer of plastic, then another layer of plastic on top of it. That's bound to give them bad marketing at some point. Now, the biggest issue I can see is the anti-loot box laws, which could affect a TCG. That could make it a bit harder for Konami to go ahead with that plan. But I think there's a lot of potential for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links game for the TCG, where it's the main game and TCG only exists as a fan game and might not even have official support anymore. My hope is that it's like Duel Links. It starts out with just dual monster characters with a way slower paced game, and slowly starts introducing the new characters and the new seasons, and basically resets the power creep. It would be amazing to see that, and I know a lot of people wouldn't like it, but down the line it would lead to a healthier game. I don't know what's gonna happen. This entire video is just a guess. Yet I hope you guys liked it. It will not be heavily edited. This video was unscripted. I have a Dungeon & Dragons session to host in like 2 or 3 hours. I just wanted to get this idea out there. Yes, I could spend a lot of time editing it, but you know, the announcement is just made, the hype is at its heights right now, so I need to get this video out. So I hope you guys understand. I know my English is a bit shitty, so probably half of it was hard to understand, but hey, if any of you liked it, tell me so. If you guys think this is not a reality, then tell me so. If you guys think this is also possible, tell me so. Let's keep it civilized in the comments. I'm not saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying, I'm saying it's gonna have a rebirth, if anything, if that makes sense. Anyways, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. After signing out, peace. Also, shoutouts to Fright for Yu-Gi-Oh! For kind of inspiring this, as well as Bradas HD. It's Bradas HD, I don't know the exact name. He makes a lot of content related to Duel Links. I saw him make a few posts on Twitter which inspired me, so check his content out as well if you're into Duel Links. But yeah, peace.